I guess you recognize this one by now. Just did this on a mountain. Going for 45. So we're sticking to this with the low reps. We're only doing 8, 4 sets of 8. Here we go. 8. Eight. 8. Feels good. Is that 3? Here we go. 8. Okay. Trying to figure out what I'm going to set up for my next little circuit of 3 things. Corner would be good, but there's a couple guys over there. I could do it here and just work around the cage of the Smith machine. That's probably what I'll do. Okay, last set. All right, last set. 4. 5. 8. Whew. It was a little harder on that last set. Incline pronated dumbbell bench press. Flat pronated bench press. 6, 10, and the flat bench pronated dumbbell chest flies. 15. I need 2 different sets of weights. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 sets. 3 for 3. Tricep, that's what they call this. So the incline pronated dumbbell bench press and the flat pronated dumbbell bench press can use the same. And the flat bench pronated dumbbell chest file, I'll use a different weight. So okay. Thinking 45s. Okay, we'll do 45s. A little heavier today. I've been doing high reps, we'll do low reps. Okay, but we're not doing that for the flies. So let's grab 25s for those. I gotta get out of the sweatshirt for this. So 6? This might be too light for 6. Six. Okay, it's blowing me down even more. Okay. I have to triple tie it. Okay.
No, it's sore, so it's 3 days, and then do 5. Very much. Either way, you gotta do one through and
5. Oh. Whew. The 45s are good for the 10. I feel like I might need a heavier 6 though. These are 15. Oh, 15. Here we go.
like I said, the shoulders all so my hands with self growth. My shoulder pain. So yeah, 15.
Can we do one more with that? Even though it felt too low, because there's a set of these, so I'm sure it'll get harder as we go on. Let's try it. Yeah. Okay, 8, 6. 6.
It's on.
One more set of that. One more.
Seriously, if your heart is still beating, if you're out of that, you're down already, and mentally gonna cut you off.
This is 6.
Oh, that one was like that. Very great. Thanks. So this is this whole field. All right, you bitch, man. Yeah, yours were less. And then he's up. You come home before loss on my ass. It's like so obvious. Look at his ass. Then come. He goes to Phillies.
Okay. Next, we're doing. I don't remember what order. I know this is last. I think it's easy bar first. So we're doing easy bar skull crushers. I'm going lighter on this time because I was kept doing my elbow out. So I'm doing a 10 and a 5 on either side of the easy bar. And then I have 15s for the dumbbell skull crushers. And this for the close grip chest press. I still have the 45s on here. I'm probably gonna have to take them off and do something lower, but I'll just leave them on here and try it and then go down for the second one if I need to. So let's go. Okay. Here we go. I don't remember what this is. So we'll do 10, 10, 10, and 10. And then we'll check or see how it feels. 8. Ow. 9. Hit myself in the forehead. 10. Not very hard, but still feels stupid. Okay, dumbbells. 10. Okay. Let's try this. See if I can do this. 45 on either side. Oh. 100 parts reps. 5. Yeah, we gotta lower that. Okay, 25s. I want to catch my breath or get a little quick break in between there. Okay, so it's how many days until April 30th. Okay, 41 days to Disneyland. I had to ask Siri because my counter is showing 0, which is not accurate. There's something wrong with it. Okay, so years ago, when we still lived in California, before we moved to the East Coast, my wife and I, we've gone to Disneyland. We've gone to Disneyland a ton of times. One of the times I got this book. It was a biography on Disney, on Walt Disney, and it was brand new. It had just come out. It was considered like the best yet. So I got that. I read it. I actually only read like half of it because this thing is like huge. And I got stuck in like World War II. Disney's depressed. It wasn't fun. So, anyways, with that said, our last trip to Disneyland, I got the audiobook. I didn't listen to very much of it, but with us getting ready for Disneyland, I figured this is a perfect time to go back and re-listen to that. And so we went to Elko yesterday. I got some blood work done. You would have seen my video. I went to a gym there in Elko, and great video. Go check it out. I haven't edited it yet, but I think it's good. So yeah, all to say is, on the way home, I was listening to this Disney book, and I just started over from the beginning. It's interesting. So the introduction was talking. I want to share a few thoughts with you guys in between these sets. So the introduction was really interesting, and it kind of talked about like the rise and fall of Disney in society. From like in the 30s, he was considered like the greatest artist of all time. That's probably a stretch, but he was this like amazing artistic man with such a great vision. And then like, by the 60s, he was like considered, depending on whichever line you said, he was the evil of that, right? So he was corporate, he was overly idealistic, whatever. He commercialized fantasy, childhood dreams, happiness, and kind of ruined them. So that was kind of interesting. So we'll jump more back into some of that and say, let's get a set done. I feel like these lighter weights are really helping me work on this form, but I got to keep my elbows in. I even still want to push them out. So elbows in. I'm not even going to do as much range of motion just to keep these elbows in. Yeah, I never checked about the reps, so we're just going to keep them at 10 to stay consistent. Okay. Let's do these. Well, let's see. Okay. Oh, 10. Okay. I'll go a little more narrow because this should be a little easier. Oh, jeez. That's too narrow. That's better. There we go. Yeah, so as I was saying, he was pretty much like in the 30s, was considered this visionary, luminary, this amazing artist. And by the 60s, he was kind of like blamed for stuff, His stuff is just, he's taking from other cultures. He's, even like the original fairy tales were so much better. He's, changed all the stuff, right? So it's kind of interesting to see how his own status changed. And some of the interviews and like the animators and stuff talked about how like he had like, I don't want to say multiple personalities, but like one animator said, I worked with him for 30 years, and I feel like I understood him less at the end of the 30 years than I did at the beginning. um one guy commented, if you got 40 people in a room and spent the day with him and then asked them about him, you get 40 different men they tell you about. So kind of interesting. Kind of makes me wonder if maybe he struggled with like bipolar or just depression, because I know, from reading half of this story before, he definitely struggled with depression. Now, whether that was external from like World War II and his company and all that stuff, what was going on, or if it was internal, I don't know. But so it'd be interesting. The way they described him as like different people meeting a different version of him almost makes me wonder if there was some sort of bipolar type stuff in there. So that's just me speculating. I have no clue. Um, I'm sure I'd get on the internet and they'd probably tell me. Everyone has an opinion, right? You can see like Bible characters and what their enneagrams are and Myers-Briggs personalities and all this kind of stuff. The internet's got to produce content, right? Well, anyways, so yeah, this is pretty interesting. The chapter 1, it was pretty long. It goes into like his family history, the Disneys, and how they came over to America in like the 1600s, and with some explorer. How was their name? It wasn't Disney back then. It was I can't remember, but how they came over like the 1600s, and then it kind of starts with Disney's grandfather, and kind of gives a little bit of recap on his grandpa and how they came over here, and how they're just trying to make it, and then how his dad Elias, and how he struggled and could never really just find success in life, and he tried over and over and over, and the different places they lived and how that impacted Disney is pretty interesting. So are you guys, let me know, leave in the comments if you are a fan of Disney, either the company, the parks, or the man Walt Disney. Like, what are your thoughts on him? We'll talk some more about this in a minute. Okay, last set of this. I can't remember what was next. I remember on Mountain I went to a different room. Oh yeah, the side lateral raises. I still don't have a T-bar support. I no longer use these benches on incline for that. That's just too awkward. Okay. Let's change this hand gripping a little bit. Okay. Oh, for 12. Okay. I don't know if I'm crooked or something, but it always seems like on those with the T-bar, my left arm is more fatigued than the right. There we go. Probably should see a chiropractor and get it adjusted. I'm gonna do 12 as well. 12. All right. Okay, here we go. So we do 12 on these. These are a bit harder, a bit more weight. Oh, 12 done. Okay. Ooh. Let's rack all this weight. So sets of 20. These are 15s. Actually, three. And 20. 4 more sets to go. And then we're done. This thing. With my hands full.
It's not. It's more.
20. Ah, 20. 20. These. Here we go. 20. Ooh. Okay, one more. So awkward getting that set. Here we go. 20. 20, 20, 20. 20. Ooh. Okay, done. All right, good little workout there. Okay, just kind of sum up what I was talking about there. Chapter 1 pretty much just went on to talk about his early life, his family, how they got to him. We won't go into that too much. Just suffice to say, his dad just could not figure out how to find success. Tried farming, tried different businesses, tried all different kinds of things. Started like saving money and investing it into some, I think it was a juice company, but some company. And then when the company started doing not so well, he invested even more and moved out there, I think to Boston. So from Kansas, their Kansas home to like Boston, and then even got his son Walt Disney, a job there for $25 a week, which after Disney came back from France after World War II, he was over in the Peace Corps. He didn't want that job. He wanted to be, he was torn between being an actor and an artist, believe it or not. And he ended up going with being an artist because he felt like it was easier than being an actor. But apparently he was good at both and drew all the time in school and acted things out. And so yeah, those were his two interests. So yeah, his dad struggled. And then, you know, the one thing I kind of talked about, which is interesting, and I've kind of known this from the past, but so his little town, I don't remember the name of it. Maybe I'll throw it up here, or maybe I won't. And then this little town in Kansas, so it's this little like railroad station town, right, where they put these little railroad depots where they could service railroads, trains, and it kind of grew into a town. And they kind of moved there at the perfect time. It had grown just big enough to be like this amazing little town. They said, I want to say it was like 2,500 people. I can't remember, but they said that like out of all the, like, there's no town of equal size that, you know, you'd be more impressed with all their perfect little gardens or their little green yards and picket fences. So it sounds like it's a pretty great place to live. He lived out in the country on a farmhouse that apparently had this amazing amazing green yard. It was just like the most amazing place to live. And they'd go into town, and this town, this perfect idyllic little town, is what Main Street is. At least his memory of this little town is what Main Street is kind of fashioned after. I did know that was based off of, like, you know, a childhood memory of his hometown. Apparently, so they ended up leaving. But the town, it sounds like it kind of fell apart not too long after that. It got, you know, crime got worse. The town started getting bigger and bigger, and it was no longer the idyllic little town. It kind of, I think it grew by 50% in the next like few years, whatever it was. So yeah, eventually that did fall apart, but they were gone by then. And yeah, Walt Disney joined the Peace Corps because he wanted to join and fight in World War II, but he was too young. So he joined the Peace Corps because they had less strict guidelines. And even then he was too young, so he had to lie. And sign, basically came up with a false name, and that he was 17 because he was 16. He had to be 18 for the military, 17 for the Peace Corps. And he had his mom basically sign and then forge his dad's, because the first they both said no. She knew he was going to run off and do something anyways. And so she eventually signed her name and forged her husband's name, and he used that to get in the Peace Corps. Is about ready to be shipped out, finds out the war is over, and is like, everyone else was celebrating, and our little group felt like we just missed out on something big. But then because of what war does and how messed up things were, they still got sent over to France to help with the post-war kind of all the injured, because, you know, the war just ended a couple days before, so like it's still bombed out, they're still injured, there's hospitals full of people, sickness going around, so they still got sent out. He still got to spend some time and serve over in France. And that's when he came back. His dad had a job lined up for him, and he was like, no, I've seen some things. I'm a different person now. I'm old enough and wise enough to know what I want to do with my life, and it is not working in this juice factory or jelly factory, whatever it was. And so yeah, that's kind of where I ended on chapter 1, is him wanting, kind of getting in this fight with his dad, wanting to be his own man, become a cartoonist. And so yeah, fun times. What do you guys, how much do you know? Let me know in the comments. How much do you know of Walt Disney? How much of his story do you know? Are you like a big Walt Disney fan? Do you know a few little anecdotal stories? Here's a question. Do you think his head is frozen to be brought back at a later time, like the myths. Hate to break that one for you, but that one's definitely false. He was cremated, not frozen. So yeah, what's your favorite Walt Disney story? Or you're like, yeah, I don't know much about Walt Disney. I'm more of a Mickey Mouse or a Disney. Or maybe you're like, I hate Disney. Disney is ruining everything, which again, by the 60s, was a little bit of their reputation already. So where do you stand with that whole thing? I want to know your comments. I'm obviously doing this, I think it was 55 days to Disney challenge. Have you ever been, there's the question. Leave in the comments, have you ever been to Disneyland? And when was the last time you were at Disneyland?